All right, welcome to the FeedBak podcast.
It's back. It's me. Haha. Joke's on you. Whatever. This is episode. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 227. I always forget which episode I'm on. Anyway, a couple of announcements. Number one, make sure we had a great hip hop bingo this past Sunday. We're recording this on the Tuesday. So make sure you follow Hip Hop Bingo on Instagram at Hip Hop Bingo. The next one will be in November, so stay tuned for that. And make sure you follow the FeedBak everywhere on social media and go back to the archives. I've had a lot of funny people. Who did I have recently? Jimmy Clifford was on, very funny. Craig Fergola was on. That was fucking dope. So go back. I talked to a lot of funny people, and as the list keeps getting longer and longer, but without further ado, let me introduce my guest for this episode. What are you doing sign language for?
You said number one, and I started counting, but you never got to 2 or 3.
The announcements?
Yeah. You said, all right, well, number 1, but you never said, okay, now number 2, and then announcement number 3.
No one's ever called me out on this.
So I just got stuck on number 1, baby.
All right, Morgan Leinwohl is in the building, and he's going to be talking shit the whole time.
I'm talking shit, dude. This is the Def Jam podcast hour with Jewish comedian Morgan Leinwohl. That's
okay.
me.
So it's like, I mean, when I say first of all, there's no second of all.
You didn't say first of all.
No, I know, it's the same thing though.
You said first. Or you
no,
literally, sorry, I take that back. You literally said number 1. Because I wouldn't have put my finger up. We have the tape. You said number 1, which, because I was like, oh, I'll count for him. You know, I'm giving a visual aid.
In case I can't count.
Well, I'm giving a visual aid to your lovely audience.
I'm not even looking at you.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
But I like it.
This is why you got the big guns here, baby.
All right, Morgan is in here.
I'm here.
Damn, this is gonna be good.
I did it, dude. I'm a feisty cat.
How long is this episode gonna be? Now I'm scared. You're in my apartment, and I don't know what to say.
A long time. Long time.
No, but I wanted you on this podcast first of all because one, it's a long time coming. You're like one of the first comics that I've not one of the first, but like. As far as somebody that I can like geek out over comedy with, like you're one of the few.
Really?
Every time we've talked, man, it's like
you mean just talking about comedy in general?
Yeah, just shooting the shit, like without an agenda, without trying to be, get all a little bit politicky. Sometimes I think we've had a couple times
politics amongst the Austin comedy scene.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah. We dive into because you've been around quite a bit longer than me, so I'm usually picking your brain on some of the. The ins and outs.
I try to stay far away from the drama. I ain't got time for this. I'm a grown ass man.
I dive right in. I'm a fucking baby. I dive in. No, I'm kidding. I can't do it. No. I'm being facetious.
You just told me, and this is before we started recording, he was talking about how. So Morgan's brain doesn't stop, and if it stops, he's scared to. He thinks he's about to die.
No. Whoa. Okay. Wait. Can I rephrase this? Can I? Okay.
I was not close.
Are you familiar? Okay, this is how I think a little bit. Are you familiar with the show Parks and Rec?
Yes, but I don't watch it.
Okay, if you do, if you don't, whatever. The Rob Lowe, the actor, is on the show, and he's a character who is, one of the things the character does is that he has so many demons. I'm not saying I have demons, but this is just the character of Rob Lowe.
Okay,
that he has so many demons that he needs to stay physically active, like he's always exercising, he's always on a long run to fight the demons. He's like, hey, if I stop, they're going to catch up. I got to run away. Obviously, that's an exaggeration. But how I feel, and I think a lot of people are like this.
No, just you. You're the only one.
You know what? It's just me.
just own it.
You know what? I'll own it.
You're Morgan with the demons. Is it demons, though?
I don't have demons. No. It's not so much demons. It's like, this is what it is. If my brain is not being put to good use, working out, working on my career, my jokes.
Apparently, that's working out for you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, my career's my career in comedy is mostly based on my physique. It's mostly based on my
not too much of the working out.
Yeah, and if you're watching the video podcast, turn it off, put on the audio podcast, and then you can really appreciate
just
my
picture
physique.
him how hard he's working at it.
Exactly. But I just need like some sort of stimulation because, for example, yesterday This is turning into therapy so quickly, so we don't need to stay in here the whole fucking
No,
time.
we don't. We will talk about video games and pussy
Wonderful.
and all that stuff. Go ahead.
I love pussy, man. I love big pussy. Okay. I love big pussy. Okay.
Fast forward if you want
yeah.
if you want to skip this therapy section.
If you want to jump right to Morgan's love for big pussy, scroll to 37 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay. Like for example, I had a trip that I just got back from, and yesterday I said to myself, you know what? I did a lot of comedy on this said trip, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna take the day off. You know, I just took the day off, right?
Right.
And by the end of the fucking day, I was going fucking crazy. I was thinking, I got lost on YouTube just watching horse. I don't know what I was watching. I mean, just random things that I never thought I'd watch. I don't know, just random things. Just thinking about negative. My brain was negative. I was thinking about negative.
What kind of videos were you watching that makes you like? I mean, there's puppy videos
like
all
snuff,
over.
like snuff films, dead bodies, and
On
no,
YouTube?
I'm kidding. I don't want. Come on, baby.
Hey, I don't know. It's your demons, man. Whatever.
No. I'm not implying that I have demons like I have past demons, which that's a thing. I don't have past. I mean, we all have something, but
Sure.
I'm not saying like there's a dead body in my closet or something.
No, he's not saying that.
I'm totally not saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not.
He's not saying he's not. Doesn't have
saying it, but
But
I mean like, yeah, I mean just like here like I have here we go diving in.
Go ahead.
I have in the incessant need, probably built into me from a very young age, of to like always be working hard, right? I'm a Jew from a family of immigrants. That's like a thing. You're an immigrant, or your family's.
Yeah.
You get it. There's this like thing.
There is this like, oh, we sacrifice so much for you,
Exactly,
and you have to live up to
and now
expectation. Otherwise, you'll be disowned by your family and your ancestors.
My dad had a more traditional, career, et cetera, like medical, business stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And so now I get to be the comedian. God bless. I was raised, whatever. And so when I'm not working hard, being that I get to do the thing that I love, comedy. If I'm not working hard, there's some part of my brain that's like, hey, fuck you, you pussy, lazy.
You wasting your fucking time right now.
Whatever. But then you're kind of like in that, and then you're like, well, go work hard. And then there's this other thing where it's like, sit back down, lay down. So you're at this war of just like being lazy and wanting to fucking not be lazy. And you gotta win the war and fucking either do two things. You have to win the war. And what that means for me is either if you're supposed to be productive and you're being lazy, you need to win the war and start being productive, whatever that means to you.
Right.
But sometimes you need rest. There's a difference between rest and lazy.
Yes, and a different between being busy and being productive.
Exactly. So then sometimes if it's rest time and that thing is like you're being a bitch, the win for that is, hey man, I'm not being a bitch. I need this so I can get back to it.
Ooh, that battle in your head.
Another time.
Remember in the cartoons when there was like a little demon, like the
angel and the devil.
The angel and the devil on your shoulders.
I've actually used that example recently with a few people about this conversation.
I mean, that's really what it is. And you're like, my dad always says, there's 24 hours in a day. We're all equal on that shit.
Yep.
Some people choose to fuck around. Some people choose to actually do things. Some people think they're doing things, but they ain't doing shit.
Which I feel like sometimes. And I hate that. I'm more scared of that. I'm more scared that I'm the guy who thinks he's doing but is not doing. Oh, I hate it. Terrifying.
You know those people you talk to, you go, how you been, man? Man, I've been so busy. And you're like, no, you're not.
Dude,
I know you.
There's nothing that pisses me off more than when people like are late or something, can't do something because I've just been so busy. Or they just say things randomly like, oh my God, I've been so busy. Hey man, we're all busy. Suck my cock.
No shit. Yeah.
Get busy with that, huh? Get busy.
How about dedicate?
It's such a not grandiose. It's just like a humble brag. I'm so busy. I mean, we can maybe hang, but I've just been so busy. Hey man, make time.
You know what? I want to ask him, okay, what are you doing then? What's your business?
Exactly.
It's literally called business. Busyness.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and enumerate everything you're doing, everything you did in the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I woke up, I got my cardio in, and then I got to watch Oprah.
That's work, baby. That's work.
And then Ellen, and then I had lunch with my friends, and like, no, you didn't.
Oh,
No.
I'm just so busy.
I'm just so busy.
I'm so busy. Oprah had a lot of good things to say today.
Yeah.
Wait, does she still have her show? No, she's
I
retired.
don't fucking know. I don't watch that shit.
Whoa, dude.
I don't-
Let's not be shitting on the big O right now.
Oh
dude.
yeah, like she's listening.
Dude, you know how I said I love big pussy? This is
This is the biggest of
guys.
them all.
All right, you
This
can
is-
tune back into that. We're now talking
Welcome
about
back to the FeedBak
we're
podcast,
talking about
everybody.
Oprah's big pussy.
How?
Oh,
It is
can I add a one thing? Okay, I don't know where this. Okay, you know how she likes bread?
No.
There's a whole. There's like a joke that Oprah loves bread. Like you know how she had a thing about how like she was losing weight and gaining weight and all this shit.
Yeah, and she always looked good no matter what.
The whole thing was that, oh my God, I love bread. And so we were talking about Oprah's pussy, and it made me think yeast infection. You said to do no bits? I'm a bit boy, baby. I fucking
that's
laid
fine.
one on you.
No, that's fine. But I don't. You just got me to realize that I don't know anything about Oprah other than just she's fucking rich and she gave away a bunch of cars once.
Do you know her real name was Orpah?
There was a typo somewhere
No, she just changed it. Her name was Orpah, Orpah.
from the Color Purple days. Was she?
No. She was born
Orpah.
Orpah, and then as like a child, changed the name or something like that to Oprah. Somebody should fact check me on this, but
Let's just say it's true.
okay,
Oprah.
it's true.
Oprah Winfrey.
Orpah.
Ugh.
Orpah. Yeah. Well, that's why I think she was like, I don't like how that sounds, and switched it to Oprah, and she's like, that's better.
You know, when you get to a point that there's people like that you're like, I don't even know how she made her money.
She was the only I don't know much. She was a journalist in Chicago, like a good old fashioned old school journalist, and she had a local show in Chicago. I think it started on the radio and then it got to TV, and the TV show just grew into being the Oprah show.
So it is the TV show.
Oh yeah,
That
well yeah. I
Because
mean,
she started really young, I guess.
It was that she started the magazine, O Magazine. Do you know Oxygen, the TV channel?
Yeah.
That's hers.
Yes, and O Magazine is always her on the cover, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, it was at one point. Yeah, that's her
Oh.
on the cover. She had the book club, which I think gave her a lot of money because there's a whole business of like recommending books and.
It's Housewives that made her money.
Oh,
That's all
yeah.
it is.
Oh no, yes,
that's all it is.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. Yes, I can confirm. I didn't know that was up for debate.
That's about as much as I know about. And then who the fuck is Ted?
Stedman is her longtime boyfriend, partner.
She-
I don't believe they're married, but they are partners.
No kids.
No kids.
Wow.
And then she has her
the
best
selfishness
friend.
on this bitch.
Her best friend is
Gail something.
Gail King.
Man, I do know more. Wow, I'm
not Gail,
impressing myself.
Gail King? No,
yeah, Gail King. It is Gail
Gail
King.
King. Who's now like a legit anchor. She's on the Today Show or whatever. One of those.
What?
Good Morning America or
Oh, is it Gail and
yes.
what was the other one with the funky ass name?
Oh, Huda.
Yeah.
Hoda. Dude, this is way more information than I do about this shit.
You know what? This is how powerful it is because we had to kind of work it through together for the information to come out because you would have asked
And this
me.
is the important stuff. This is we're talking about information that could easily be Googled, but
yeah, but it's a think of it like an icebreaker at a party. Hey, do you know Oprah? Her name was Orpah. No, I didn't know that.
I'm
Nice
the king
to
of
meet you too,
icebreakers, baby.
Nice to meet you. Cool.
I'm the king.
man.
Hey, wait. Pretend. I'm gonna pretend you're a hot girl,
Okay.
which is very hard to pretend.
All right, how you? I can't.
You're a
do
hot
that.
girl, and
Okay.
we're at a party,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna watch how fast your pussy's gonna get all wet when I say this. I'm gonna walk up, be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Morgan.
Hi, my name is Jessica.
Jessica. I don't mean to be too forward, but did you know that Oprah's real name is Orpah?"
Are you
I
serious?
couldn't stay in the bed.
Are you serious? I didn't know. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Hey, you want to fuck in my car?
Let's talk about Oprah.
Okay, god damn it. Oh, we gotta. I teased you with the Oprah, and you're like, wait. Before you get in this pussy, how much more do you know about Oprah?
Yes, and this is where this conversation was useful. See?
Useful for what? Oh, to get.
To
That
talk
was
more about, and then she goes, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. You know more about. Let's go in your car.
Yeah. Do you have any wine in your car?
Do you have a book to recommend?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ooh. Oh, I don't have a book to recommend, but do you know who does?
Who?
Oprah's book club.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
when you get to this is what I had this conversation with a friend recently. Like, there are people that like, and I think I'm kind of want to be one of them. Like, the one name people.
Like Beyonce or Prince.
Beyonce, Prince, Oprah.
Yeah.
And now, like when I say, "Hey, do you like Michael?" Which Michael you think I'm talking about?
Jordan.
No, Jackson.
I know. That
How
that's.
dare you?
I know that's the thing.
I would have said his airness if I was talking about Michael Jordan.
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
I have thought about this before. Yeah, because it is impressive that somebody like Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson could be so popular that they have the same effect with their name as a Beyonce or a whatever, but literally with the name Michael that everybody has.
Yeah, it's like
But I think when you say maybe I'm a sports fan, I'm also a Michael Jackson fan. I mean, I love Michael Jackson. I know,
yeah.
I think he's probably had a bigger impact on my life than Michael Jordan. But when I hear Michael, something about that, I go Jordan.
Really?
With Bublé coming in right at second.
Oh, come on, low.
Dude, Bublé, baby.
Really?
People, when
Not Michael Johnson?
the track runner?
The track runner.
Bublé's more famous than Michael Johnson. But by the way, when I had a little more hair, Michael Bublé was a doppelganger of mine. I would get Michael Bublé.
What has Michael Bublé done?
He's a singer. He's like a super successful
I
singer.
mean, I'm learning so much today.
He's like a crazy successful singer, and he's I think now most famous for his Christmas specials.
That's his thing.
Every Christmas on, I don't know, ABC and one of those, he does like an old-fashioned kind of style Christmas special where him and friends sing songs in front of an audience. They light the tree.
Are you gonna go see him? He's coming to Austin. His billboard is up.
It got canceled.
Did
you not hear about this?
No.
It got canceled.
Why?
It was a big. I saw it too at the arena there.
The Orange Center. Yeah.
Yep. It got canceled because of COVID-related stuff. I don't think.
It wasn't until next year, was it?
I don't know. All I know is it got canceled. Maybe it got re-upped, but I do
I
know
hope
there was a
so.
big there was a big public outcry about the canceling. I believe he was insisting upon mask mandates and the arena was less inclined to do so, and he was like, "Hey, I'm not interested." So, yeah.
I hope they post. I mean,
I like Bublé.
not that I will go, but for your sake,
I know. Dude, one time I looked so much like, and also I was a little bit lighter than I am right now, so maybe the fat. In
I have
my
no
face.
idea what it looks like.
But one time in college, for Halloween, I was doing something and I realized, oh shit, it's Halloween. Like I need an outfit. I literally just put on a suit, and everyone was like, "Oh, nice Michael Bublé costume." And I was going for Bublé. I knew what I was going for.
Just a suit. That was the only costume.
There's a picture of me somewhere on Facebook in college on the train, going to whatever party or whatever, and I literally just had a suit, trying to be Michael Bublé. I knew, but enough people came up to me and were like, "Hey, are you Michael Bublé for Halloween?" And I said, "Yes, I am."
How many people recognize you as Michael Bublé?
Oh, it's a while. I'd
Bublé.
say throughout the night, I'd say there was a solid 3 people, which is a decent amount of people to come up to you and like be like, "Oh, Bublé, you're Bublé."
Do you still dress up for Halloween?
Yeah, do I? Yeah.
You have to think about it.
What was the last? Oh, well, the last Halloween we were in quarantine. So I
Sure,
don't
the
think
Halloween before.
The one before. Oh yeah. Okay. All I did. Okay. I dare say I don't dress up a lot. I go pretty light. I have a hockey jersey with my last name on it. I didn't play hockey, but it's my whatever. I have a hockey jersey with my last name on it. We'll get to the story later if you really want it.
Sure.
And I put on a hat that said "Daddy."
Okay.
On it, which is, I don't know. I just have the hat. It says "Daddy," whatever. And I sat down and I'm talking to. I didn't know what I really was for Halloween. I just put it on. I was a hockey player. I don't know.
Hockey player with daddy hat.
The girl says like, "Oh, what are you?" And I said, "I'm your daddy." So I went to Halloween as your daddy. And she said, "Well, why are you wearing a hockey jersey?" I said, "Daddy likes hockey."
You have to explain your costume?
Yeah.
That's gotta be exhausting.
It honestly kind of worked because at the time I was single. And the girl, when she was like, "What are you for Halloween?" I was like, "I'm your daddy." And she was like, "Oh my God, what?"
And can you go back to my car to fuck?
Yeah, I actually have. We can talk more about Oprah if you really want. It didn't work. It didn't work in the conventional sense of picking up women. People think, oh, like, you have to sleep with them or get their number, or like maybe they want to see you again. It didn't work like that. But it worked in the sense that she laughed a few times. And you know what? I'll take it. She thought it was charming.
How long ago was this?
This was 2 Halloweens ago.
Okay.
Which actually was about a month or 2 before I even met my girlfriend, actually. So it was right towards the end days of my singledom.
Yeah.
But
I always, my thing was always dead something.
like, okay, like,
So, and
like a zombie version of something.
yeah, so I would I got a kick out of it because I would wear like a zombie mask, and one day I did Dead Samurai, I did Dead Ninja, I did
Sure.
Dead Jester,
So
Dead
if you
Prisoner.
Okay, so these are without the word dead. These are normal costumes. But what
Yeah.
did you do to add on to the normal costume dead as a theme?
Okay,
like
so-
makeup or
No. So
Blood.
no, I'm no makeup because I have a mask on, so people can't tell who
Okay.
I am.
Really can't tell if you're dead or not.
Yes, but I usually buy like 2 costumes and merge them together. I would like kind of rip them. And I would sometimes I remember when I did the Jester, I went to Party City, and it's a regular Jester outfit,
yep.
and
Old school jester.
yeah, like red and black.
Yep.
With the bells and everything, and then I cut it up, and I actually put it in the dirt, and rubbed it in the dirt, and then
Okay.
put that on. I did.
Is that the only? Wait, you just rubbed the costume in dirt and then you became dead jester?
It
There was-
was scary. I had everything.
But there was no like blood or like a knife sticking out of your like. I mean,
No,
you were just
there
a
was
dirty
blood.
jester.
No, there was. I think that was blood too.
Okay.
That was blood too.
I'm a dead
No,
guy,
but
and it's like it's a little dirt.
No, but this is what I would do. I would go downtown, and I would stand on the street corner, and then I would just slowly turn my head as people walk by me, and that's the only time when I'm like, I was getting a kick out of it.
To be fair, though, you do that every weekend. So that's, I've been downtown. I've seen that corner. You're there, costume or not.
No, but I had the best one was I did the Dead Prisoner.
Okay.
Dead Prisoner, and I had
With like the orange jumpsuit. Was
no,
that
no, no, no. It was like a black and white
Oh, the
stripe,
stripes.
horizontal stripe. I had the ball chain, but the ball chain was a lantern, and I would put my head in it, and I had the eyes. And
That is kind of sick.
yes, I had the eyes, and I would put like the little prisoner hat on top of the thing,
That's
and
kind
I
of
had the chain. I had the bony gloves and everything.
That's okay.
I'll show
Now you're
pictures.
telling me about a dead Halloween costume or a dead
Yes.
version of Halloween. That's,
Yes.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Now here's what I did. I went to a dance party downtown, and it got hot, so I took my gloves out. I gloves off. I took that big ball thing off. I took the chain and everything. So by the end of the night, I was just black prisoner, and I'm on the street and
Do you know what a lot of people would call black prisoner?
black
Prisoner.
prisoner. No, but get this.
Black. I think black was funnier. Okay, moving on.
Get this. I by the end of the party, I had put my shit down. I couldn't find it, so I'm outside on 7th Street, just with a prisoner outfit now, no gloves, no mask, nothing.
Yeah.
And this group of black girls pull up in their car and go, "Prisoner, really?" and drive off.
They thought you were making a political statement. You know what I was hoping they were going to tell you? Get in. We got you.
It was like, really, of all the costumes, you're going to really like
yeah, that's a
perpetuate
tough
the
one.
stereotype.
That's a tough one.
It's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment.
Yeah, that is. That's funny. Is that a joke? I
No,
think
it's not. It's not.
You should. That's
That's
funny.
a story. No, but I'd go to a club. I would go to Plush downtown where I knew everybody. I was a
Plush?
jester.
Is that a club?
Is closed now?
Oh,
It's
what?
on the corner on 7th and Red River. It was like as far as hip hop goes, it was like the best place. Dad,
Oh, like
always had
right
two-
next to Creek in the Cave.
yeah, around the corner. Yeah, exactly. It was like hole in the wall type thing, but it always had dope DJs and dope music. And I would go in there when I was a dead jester, and I would stand in front of the DJ booth and not move and just stare at them.
See, that's just you being creepy. That
No,
isn't-
that's the whole point. That's just the
Isn't
whole.
the whole point?
Yeah, it's Halloween. This is the one day can get away with it. I chased 2 girls down the street once with my cane.
Okay, hey, that's not. I don't condone this. This is
Imagine
not a
if
part of Halloween.
Imagine if I didn't have a mask on, what would have happened?
You would have been a prisoner, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you would have had a normal prison
Yeah,
outfit.
exactly.
You
Like-
might have been a dead prisoner. You might have been a dead prisoner. They might have cuffed you and then killed you. But
It's fun. It's fun. Now I don't care so much because I
wait, hold on. You can't.
What?
This isn't the purge, man. You can't. Wait. This isn't. Oh, dude, it's Halloween, dude. I could chase women down the street, and beat the shit out of them, dude. What
I
do you,
didn't say beat the shit out of them, but I was
that's
like,
implied.
I was walking slowly and it started running.
Let me ask you this.
Uh huh.
Answer this as honestly as you can. Do you think that these 2 women that you were chasing down the street
I was walking.
were quote unquote walking the street, were quote unquote in on the joke? or no?
No, because it started running. I didn't know him.
Okay, man.
started-
This is your podcast, man. This is your equipment. This is your stuff. I'm just a guest in your home. But oh, yeah.
Look, it's the one day you can get away with it.
Oh, dude, it's Halloween, dude. I can fucking drag a person back to my hotel room and chain them up to the wall and start more torturing them. It's Halloween, dude.
Just don't do blackface.
Oh, yeah, no. You can kill someone, but if you do blackface, we're going to cancel your ass.
Exactly.
We're
You
gonna
can walk
fucking
around with an
cancel your
actual
ass.
machete and be like, yeah, I'm who's the villain with the machete?
Who's, Jason.
Jason, yeah.
Jason.
I'm Jason. And I'm actually gonna has there ever been like a
Are you saying that Jason's in blackface?
no
what are you?
I say you're better off being Jason with a real machete than actually wearing blackface.
On Halloween or just in general?
On Halloween. Yeah. If you do it on November 1st,
Oh,
I think
for
you're in
sure.
trouble.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. This is
Oh,
one
yeah,
day.
yeah.
But
Well, what's worse? What's worse?
uh-huh.
Doing blackface on Halloween as, let's say, a part of an outfit,
Okay.
or doing blackface literally any other day?
What's worse?
What's worse?
Any other day.
I agree.
Any other day.
Because at least for Halloween, there's an attempt like, oh, I was just trying to be,
James Brown.
I was just trying to be Oprah. I'm going to talk about Oprah this whole goddamn thing. But like,
Look
people
at my
will
fat
ridicule
pussy.
you and you'll be, that's bad. But at least like, oh, on Halloween, because that's happened. It's usually, honestly, all this shit usually happens on Halloween.
Oh yeah.
But if you're just in blackface getting lunch in June, like an outdoor cafe, and you're just in blackface, that's a problem, man.
do you remember in Trading Places was when Dan Aykroyd had blackface on?
Yes.
Nobody gave a shit?
At the time or now? It hasn't been retroactively talked about.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
I mean, are people really going to pull up every act of blackface in the world? Did you know that the first first movie with sound, was The Jazz Singer? I don't know if it was the first ever thing put to film with sound, but it was the first large-scale movie that was not like a Charlie Chaplin style silent film. It had talking. Do you know this movie, The Jazz Singer?
Nuh-uh.
So it starred a guy named Al Jolson, who at the time was the Michael Bublé of. He was. I mean, he actually kind of was. He was like a very famous singer, right?
Okay.
It's the story of. I'm blanking, but the character is a Jewish character, and he's a cantor. Do you know what a cantor is?
Like a
It's a kind of rabbi who sings.
Okay, gotcha.
So if
Yeah.
like if you watch Fiddler on the Roof, I don't know. I don't know all the Jewish shit, but whatever. So he's a cantor. He's a great singer, but he wants to break away from his Jewish, role as the cantor, and he wants to become a jazz singer. And so his way of becoming a famous jazz singer is he puts himself in blackface to trick everybody to thinking he's black, and he rises through the ranks of the world of jazz. I never said this is the most politically correct storyline, but the first movie with sound is the literal crux of the movie is that the guy's in blackface. So like we can't go back and just look at every act of blackface ever and be like, that's terrible. Like, yeah, we know, but it was like
Tropic Thunder. It's okay. He ends up being Iron Man.
Tropic Thunder, I actually think is literally one of the only times where I think they nailed it.
No, they did,
because the character is being made fun of for being in blackface. So we're in on we know he's terrible, as opposed to just going to a Halloween party. But
And he's Iron Man.
and he became Iron Man.
Yeah.
Was he Iron Man at the time?
No. This was way before. This Tropic Thunder is in the 90s, right? Late
No.
90s, early 2000s? 2004 maybe?
I don't know. It's
When
really
did Tropic
it's like
Thunder
really
come out?
close. Iron Man 1 and Tropic Thunder, I'm gonna guess, are timed very similarly, like a year or two different.
2008 is Tropic Thunder.
Okay, now look up Iron Man. I think Iron Man's before. I think he was already Iron Man.
Are you serious?
Type in Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 2008.
Oh, literally the same year. Okay, so the same year.
Oh, so
I was totally right.
He redeemed himself.
I guess. Well, and by the way, his character, I forgot the character's name, but the character that he plays is an actor who's in blackface.
Yeah, it's like I'm a dude playing another dude or whatever.
Yeah. But which is funny. But the Ben Stiller's character, his whole thing, his whole like character arc was that he was only known for playing the mentally challenged character, Simple Jack.
That's right.
So both of those characters were like doing offensive things, which is the whole point of comedy, is like we can make fun of being offensive. They're not actually being offensive, but whatever.
Do you think that? I mean, this is a big topic. Like, oh well, we couldn't do this movie again ever.
9/11
is
9/11 was an
What?
inside job. That's my. Is that what your question was?
No, like the
Oh, okay.
movies from back then that
Oh,
you
sorry.
can't remake because everybody's remaking shit now. They're all remaking movies.
Yes.
They're literally taking that. First of all, they have all the Disney movies going to be remade,
Oh yeah.
all of them.
Yep.
And I watched Aladdin and I'm glad I didn't pay for it.
I heard it was bad.
Oh my god,
Heard it was really bad.
so bad. The Lion King, I was like, why?
Heard that was really bad. I heard that was like
No, it's
really terrible.
Yes, somebody actually made a. They remade the one scene where they're like, "Hey, you can actually make him look like a little cartoony, but still make him real
Sure.
instead
went
of
with, like, a
using
very-
real fucking lions."
Yeah, and it looked bad.
Yeah, like okay, I don't buy it as Scar's talking. Like this is a lion
It
talking
literally looks like a lion with a
with a
yeah, yeah,
voice,
yeah.
and you're not buying it. And it's like, okay, Pumbaa is the warthog, but
where if you gave him a little cartooniness,
yes,
Could have been a
That's
little
why
bit.
it was so fucking bad.
I mean, why they needed to do that in the first place, I'm not sure. But
Reintroduce it to the younger generation.
play them the old movie. Play them the fucking movie. Whatever. I know why they did it. It's a money grab, obviously.
No, of course they are. I mean, look, if there's
And it was cool to think that it could have been something cool, but whatever. I saw Cruella.
really,
Dude.
it's
it
not
ru-
about a Dalmatian at all. It's just about her story.
It's her origins. It's Joker, but for Cruella DeVille. It's like the Joker movie. It's like a sort of. It's not
Oh.
as dark as the Joker, but it's like a darker origin story for Cruella DeVille. And I thought they fucking nailed it.
You knew the story beforehand.
I mean, I've seen 101 Dalmatians. when I was a
That's all
kid.
you know. There's
Yeah.
nothing else about.
There's
that
nothing really
whole-
you need to really know except that she's Cruella DeVille.
She just comes out and I'm Cruella, and you're like, oh, she used to have a job, and she got mad one day.
You
and
talking
she
about when
painted
you
her
watched the
face.
original movie?
No, I'm talking about the new one.
Oh, this one she's much younger. She's like in her early. I think the character in the real movie she's like in her 50s or something.
Right.
This is a number of years before where she's like in her early 20s. But like I don't know, it's like it just was done really well. I mean, it was like a really legit story. It was fun. It was funny at times. I
Mhm.
thought they nailed it. It's not a perfect movie. The Joker is probably a better like cinematic piece of work.
Yeah, great performance too.
Well, and I agree, obviously.
Yeah.
Emma Stone played young Cruella.
Uh-huh.
She fucking nailed it. She's awesome. She kind of plays two characters. There's kind of like a bipolar thing going on.
When does the black and white thing come in?
That's
all I wanna know.
It's actually her original hair. So it comes at the very beginning. As a little girl, she has a birthmark, and that's her birthmark. Is that half of it? I actually have a little one here. It's like a little dot. If you can't see it, with
Yeah, I can
my-
see it.
You see it. But she dyed it. Actually, one of the things they do is they had her dye it for years and years. She dyed it brown or whatever. And then, the moment she kind of reveals herself, she's like, I don't need to dye my hair. This is the real me. And she shows the real hair.
Oh.
So that's not that. Yeah, that character's real hair is the white and the black.
I don't think I care enough to watch it. I don't
Yeah,
think there's any movie now that I'm like, I have to see this shit.
That's a very over blanking statement. There's no movie that
No,
just nothing. Are you not a movie guy?
I am.
Okay.
I really am. But like,
Are you making a reference to a lot of these movies are remakes and sequels and prequels that you're not interested in?
No, I look more for the, and I've talked about this before, but it's like, I'm more of a, there's movies you watch because you got to, like the Marvel shit.
Ah, sure.
Because like, you're going to feel like an outcast if you don't watch the latest. And honestly, I didn't watch Doctor Strange. I didn't watch Shang-Chi. I haven't watched any of the stuff on Disney Plus either. Loki, I didn't watch any of that stuff. But like, the big stuff, the big ones that come to theater, like that's Star Wars. Like I gotta watch the Star Wars just for the fuck of it.
Sure.
But I look for the interesting type movie.
Like it create more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
you're
like
alone.
plot twist.
Yeah, with the world of movies going so blockbuster, I don't think you're alone in your craving of more niche, creative endeavors.
I was talking about video games earlier. Like video games got better writers
Really.
than movies.
So
And-
we talked off camera. We talked about God of War,
Yeah.
which I've become familiar with because I somehow went down a rabbit hole of watching like the video people playing it,
Yeah.
and it's just like a cool story. It's like a movie. What are two other video games in that sort of world where it's like also like you're like playing a movie?
Red
Pretty-
Dead Redemption.
Red Dead
Hands down.
Redemption.
Hands down.
I've heard that
That's-
game. I know
that's
that's
like-
very popular.
When you there was never a concept of character development in a video game other than you power up. right?
Oh,
You're
that was the first one.
You Mario, and then you get a mushroom, and then you get a star.
Yep.
That was the only progression. That it was very linear type thing.
Interesting. That was the first one that was like, we can make this like a real movie thing.
I think it was the first one. I'm trying to think of a.
The fucking Halo had an aspect of that a little bit.
Sure, to some degree. But like Red Dead Redemption was actually, because it looked great, because you're following a group of guys, and the guy's an outlaw, and then he tries to do right. You can either do bad or do good, and depending on how you play, the ending is different.
Really?
The people interacting with you act differently. So let's say you go into a town and you rob it. If you come back and you wear the same clothes, they recognize you.
Whoa.
And then the dog chasing you, and people.
The amount of work put into that.
No,
is
it's
so wild.
insane. The kind of like,
And
oh,
it's only
just
getting
throw that in
better.
there. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just wild.
So
for anybody listening, I'm very illiterate in the world of video games.
Last of Us is another one.
I've heard of that.
So HBO is making a series
Really?
Yeah.
Based on the game?
based on the game. So there's I don't know if you're into anime at all.
Not really.
Same shit. Like those guys come up with concepts, and you're like, how the Hollywood is not.
Yeah, I think you're hitting on a nerve that reaches to a larger point, which is, I think, with the Hollywoodization, the commodifying of movies, which for years and years, think about the movies from the 70s and Scorsese and all this, was the place for the real creatives of the world to kind of meet. Was for a long time was traditional filmmaking. As the movies have become much more commodified, more blah blah blah. Those creative minds, some of them are really only skilled in the world of film, so they're a little screwed. But they're just finding their place in other places. Video, like those, like storytellers
Or TV series.
Obviously, some of these TV shows are literally movies. Queen's Gambit was awesome.
No.
You thought it was fun? I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was too one-dimensional.
How? What do you mean?
Because it's the whole time you're thinking, okay, it's gonna be the girl against the guy in the guy's world.
You know
she's gonna win. And I was hoping there would be a moment. If you haven't watched it, fuck off. Go watch it.
Hey, if you haven't watched that show, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You dumb idiot.
So I was like, okay, she lost, and then now she's gonna win and play the master or whatever, right? But I'm thinking, are they gonna add in the element of, as for that time period, was she gonna ever have a moment where, I could have been a wife, I could have been a mom, I could have done all these things.
And she never had that.
She never has that.
Sure,
I'm not saying that it was the thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm saying that given the era that it happens in, and the time, you're like, okay, she's gonna work up a way to. And when you start having montage of her, looking at the ceiling and practicing in her head, and like she goes to a tournament and then she wins the tournament in like 30 seconds flat, and you're like,
you thought it was predictable.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And I was hoping for a moment at the end, like, there's a reckoning to this, or there's something there, but it wasn't.
All right.
It's just a girl who looked gorgeous.
I think you're a big dumb idiot, but that's just.
Hey, to each his own, Morgan.
That's just corresponding in podcast. Yeah, I mean, TV shows is a good one. I know this sounds silly, but like social media, TikTok stuff. Not to say everybody on TikTok is doing God's work, but I have found some like young filmmaker types who are on TikTok with the format with 60 seconds or whatever. Fucking awesome. I forgot the guy's name, but this guy, I think he's like a student somewhere at a film school. And his whole thing is he's like my friend Jim is a fisherman. And he just tells this weird little story about his friend Jim the fisherman. And I'm making that up. I don't know. But like every video is like, here's my friend. And like that friend has a weird job or a weird life or a weird circumstance. And it's just shot really well. And it's cute and creative. It's the creative, the commodifying. I use that word a lot, but I think it works.
Yeah.
The commodifying of the film industry and the removal, let's say, of creativity for superhero movies, almost exclusively.
Right.
Those creative people aren't losing their creative voice. They're just gonna find somewhere else to do it.
I'm all for it. I'm all for creativity. I was watching. Did you watch the Shane Gillis thing?
Yeah. The special.
No, not the special. The little sketches he does on YouTube.
The Gillian Keefe sketches.
Yes.
Very well done.
So the one that I watched and I couldn't stop laughing was the OnlyFans dad. Have you seen that one?
Where he sits on the
It sits on the Sibian.
the Sibian.
On
yes,
the Sibian,
yes,
and is like, hey, I'm trying to put a roof over your head. I'm like,
yeah,
this is brilliant shit.
Yeah.
And I'm all for what I'm saying is, if you think of Hollywood as an institution that's been around for, I don't know, 200 years. I don't know how long it's been around. But long enough.
Yeah, 1920, 1930.
Yeah, when you think about all the shit that came out of it, all good stuff, bad stuff, doesn't matter. You're like, okay, now there's other avenues and there's other ways to get creative. And I'm all for it. I'm just like, as an institution, it's kind of dying off. Just like in comedy, the Tonight Show was the shit, was the place to be. They were the gatekeeper, like, oh, we're telling you what's good. This is what's good.
Because we needed that.
We needed that, but not anymore.
I think you brought up a good point, which I agree with. This whole walking of path of like what I think about Hollywood. I think we're on a very similar page here.
Sure.
I do think there's a new leaf, as they say. I think Shane Gillis is a good example because of the SNL ties he had. He got hired and fired in a day. I'm sure you're familiar.
Good for him.
Good for him. I agree with that. But like, SNL has fallen under the category of something like The Tonight Show, where a lot of people are like, this isn't funny anymore. It's been commodified. It's been, prescribed.
It's so predictable.
It's so predictable. Sometimes it's just straight up not funny, which SNL's hard. I understand that not every sketch has ever been. But get this. Oh, wow. SNL is bad. That's the death of sketch comedy. Absolutely not.
No. I want to go. Yeah.
Shane Gillis is just doing it on his own, and they're fucking amazing. Like, it really, I used to kind of live in sketch and improv world a little bit back in the day. I've been going into more into stand-up. I've been a little bit cynical of that world a little bit. And honestly, SNL is sort of the crowning jewel of that. I've just been cynical. There's nobody funny in sketch. It's all woke. It's all bullshit, whatever. He really opened up my eyes.
Shane did?
Yeah, Shane re-opened up my eyes to the what sketches can be. And I'm like, oh, it can still be funny. Fuck yeah. That's sick.
I was always...
It can be edgy. It can be ballsy. It can be whatever. And really got my brain thinking about sketches, things that I might want to make,
Watch the old Mad TV sketches.
I grew up watching a lot of Mad TV. Which ones?
The Vancombe lady.
The Vancombe lady. I don't know.
That's
which actor played?
which character? Nicole Sullivan.
Yep.
Like the rich lady who's like inappropriate all the time.
Oh,
she makes
sure.
comments like it's mostly racial jokes that
Okay.
she makes.
Yep.
There's a Halloween sketch that I think is like the guy walks up, kids walk up and they have like I forgot what the costumes are, but she's basically using every racial stereotype in the book to talk shit about kids. To just knock on her door.
Sure.
Stewart.
Yep.
The grown baby.
Yep. Michael McDonald. That
yeah.
character.
And you're like, yeah, that was always funnier to me than SNL whatever was.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this might be, I hope this is not a statement for Mad TV, but I watched it in elementary school. For whatever reason. I was not always going to be a comedian. I did a bunch of other shit before I got into stand-up. But as like a young, like literally somewhere between first and fifth grade, I mean, very young, the three things that I would watch a lot, four things, would be Mad TV, Dennis Leary. He had No Cure for Cancer, which was a comedy special he did that I listened to on tape. Lewis Black. I love Lewis Black. And Jon Stewart's, he had a book, like an audio book for a book he wrote, something about America. I guess I like politics, but like I would literally walk around my neighborhood as like a fucking 8-year-old. Or how old are you in this third grade? I mean, 10 years old, listening to all that, but specifically, Mad TV was a big one.
We had in France. There was the biggest comedy sketch group. There was a bunch.
You're from France?
Yeah, I grew up in France.
Shit. Okay.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Jeez. If you listen, if you know me,
yeah, I was at the Louvre the other day.
No, I'm not like that.
Okay.
I grew up not in Paris, but outside. But anyway, there was this one sketch group called, if I translate, it's called The Unknowns. 3 guys. And they were so popular that they will have these, basically like a block special for like an hour and a half of all this. So they would do parodies of commercials, parodies of TV shows, soap operas. They would have their own sketches. And it was so big that the next day at school, that's what everybody talked about, and everybody was trying to reproduce their sketch. It's like what Chappelle's Show was when Chappelle's Show came out.
Another thing I watched at that around that.
No,
age.
exactly.
Super
So it's
young.
like, I'm rich, bitch. Everybody was saying that right after, all
was
of that.
Chappelle's Show big in France?
I was here already. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I don't think so. I don't think so because
How old were you when the Chappelle Show was initially on? Not to date you or anything, but
Chappelle's Show came out in 2004.
yes.
I was 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was right.
You're an
in that.
adult.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could appreciate it much more than I could
Yeah,
when
of
I was
course.
like 11 or
Okay,
something.
and I was already a fan of Chappelle.
Yeah.
We're killing him softly and all that. So
Yeah.
now, I mean, it's when you get to that, I think, yeah, sketch comedy done right. Forget SNL.
Which has been amazing in the past.
But you don't, yeah, of course, in the past.
I
Like,
love SNL. I mean, I'm a diehard SNL fan. It just so happens that I think it's really fucking bad now, and that's a
47
huge
season or some shit like that. Is that
yeah,
how many?
Yeah,
40 something.
yeah, 47 or 48. Because it's about to be the 48th.
Yeah, so that guy left, Beck, whatever.
Beck Bennett left.
Yeah, and then they brought in three other people.
Who I didn't really know. I think two of them are stand-ups. One of them I know is an LA-based stand-up that I'd heard about just when I was in LA. But yeah, nobody's super recognizable or anything.
That's which is fine, which is fine. But I mean, the most notable. I mean, when Eddie Murphy was on, Richard Pryor was on, I like the whole.
Richard Pryor was never a cast member on this.
No, it wasn't. But just as being part of the
Yeah,
sketches.
It was the place. It was the place for comedy. SNL is SNL for a reason, but it's
a good school. Put it this way,
Yeah,
it's a good school to
just
go
not
through.
cool anymore. And the only thing cool they have is Pete Davidson, literally because he's cool, which
Really,
is
I
not, which
think-
is not comedy cool.
Weekend Update is still all right. If you
Weekend
some
Update
of
can be
them.
fine.
'Cause I like Michael Che. I don't know about the other guy, but Michael Che is funny.
Colin Jost.
Yeah,
I like
like-
both. I like. Yeah.
It was in a Tom and Jerry movie. I was like, no, never.
Colin
mind.
Jost was in a Tom and Jerry movie.
Yeah, the one Tom and Jerry with real people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in there. He played the.
He's also married to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, it
which
must
is
be nice.
Pretty cool.
Does he do comedy at all?
Colin Jost?
Yeah, like stand up.
He does. So he was a writer for the Harvard Lampoon at Harvard. Do you know the Harvard Lampoon?
No, national.
Well, it's the same thing. So, long story short, this guy Doug Kenny back in the 70s started this thing called the Harvard Lampoon, which was a comedy club. You know what? I'm sorry, it already existed, and I think he joined it. Whatever. And it's like an exclusive comedy club on Harvard's campus, and a lot of comedians and writers have come from Harvard from this Lampoon. He took it and made it into a radio show called the National Lampoon, then a magazine, then the movies, et cetera, et cetera. So the National Lampoon was birthed from the Harvard Lampoon. I think on campus they probably do a number of things, but it's a paper, it's a comedy.
Chevy Chase, National Lampoon.
Chevy Chase was like a cast member for National Lampoon stuff. Yes.
Oh, okay.
This was all pre SNL. Gilda Radner was there. John Belushi was there.
Right then, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray was there. Yes.
Yeah, the whole camp.
So when SNL started, the initial kind of like tongue-in-cheek idea was, let's combine the performers from the Second City in Chicago
I remember that documentary.
and the
That's
writers
right.
of the Harvard / National Lampoon.
Yes.
That's kind of where it all.
And the guy Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
Yes, Harold Ramis was part of that.
I'm also a Second City alumni in Chicago.
Oh, really?
So this stuff I have seeped in my brain pretty. Yeah, I did their. It's called Comedy Studies. Pretty much, it's all of their programs kind of crammed into one semester for a semester abroad. Obviously, it's not abroad. It's in Chicago.
Wait, hold on. So doing what? Improv sketch?
Improv and sketch.
No stand up.
No stand up. We literally did a day like we prepared.
We had a workshop. We have a lab.
No,
it was
but
lab
this
day stand up.
is improv and sketch, specifically how Second City does improv and sketch, which is it's kind of its own little flavor.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm trying to think who else is from.
interesting.
Colbert's from there. Carell's from there, right?
Carell was actually Colbert's understudy, flipped. Colbert was Carell's understudy for a period of time on the main stage. They ended up new show. They both got on as main players, and they have a very famous sketch in the lore of Second City called Maya. Super fucking.
What was the one? I saw one where they're playing waiters that get nauseous.
So that's on the Dana Carvey show.
Oh, okay.
Which Dana cast a lot from the Second City, obviously.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, waiters who get nauseous by food.
Yeah.
Which might have been an idea when they were at Second City. They just used it on there. But yeah, waiters who get nauseous from food. That's the Dana Carvey show, which is a whole other conversation. But that's a while.
So what was the click for you to start to switch over to stand up?
From that world to this. So it wasn't ever a click. Well, there was a click. I ran the gamut of every kind of entertainment you can imagine. So it all started in high school. I did high school theater. I was a musical theater kid. I played football. I played college football, actually, but not to brag. I played Division III college.
Not to brag about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fucking super masculine, manly guy. But but
who loves Oprah?
I love Oprah. Long story short, I got into musical theater, and I actually wanted to pursue musical theater. So I studied theater. I went to Emerson College to study theater. I ended up canceling that. I actually ended up studying the improv, but kind of a side thing. But studied musical theater at another conservatory. Moved to New York to do musical theater, whatever the fuck that means, because I think I had 2 auditions in
You were
2
12
years.
or what?
No, I was. I was 22 years old.
Okay.
This is a few years ago. I'm 27 now, so 5 years ago.
Okay.
21, 22 years old. Trying to do musical theater. That kind of morphed into TV or morphed to straight theater. Like normal plays.
As opposed to gay theater?
As opposed to very gay theater, in which musical theater is very gay. I have a bunch of old friends from that world, and just it's a gay fun time.
Flamboyant.
Super flamboyant. I was definitely the token straight guy, as you would say.
You try to fuck you?
Oh, I'm sure somebody tried it. Yeah.
Oh, you would know. No?
One of the, I won't say names, but one of the, are you familiar with the musical Kinky Boots?
No, but that sounds very gay.
It's, whatever. A cast member from Kinky Boots tried to take me home, and he was a man.
How did you get to the doorstep?
I sucked his cock. No,
okay.
I'm kidding. I did not suck the man's cock, even though he would have liked that. But
you could have made it far.
I was dude, a straight guy getting, this is not a bit, but a straight guy, I get so, when a gay guy really hits on me, I don't get, dude, back off. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's honestly so it's so flattering. Dude. But I'm just, it's just not for me. I'm sorry. You know what? Maybe I'll try it one day, but for right now, I'm just so, I just get, I don't want to be offensive because I am so flattered that they want to fuck me. That, I don't care who you are. If you want to fuck me, that's flattering.
I had that happened to me. I was at a pool party, and I knew everybody. It was this girl I knew's huge house, and all her friends. She only had gay friends.
Sure.
No, she did. And I'm like,
I believe you.
And everybody, well, bathing suit and everything. And then this guy kept coming up to me and just boop, tapping on my crotch.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty. I've had plenty of grabs and touches.
Yeah. And I don't want to be like, hey man, fuck off me.
Yeah,
kind of thing. I'm like, we're still trying to,
because you don't want to be homophobic.
Yes.
I don't want to be homophobic, and I'm not. But and I'm not even saying that. But my willingness to not be a homophobe comes out with me being like, oh my god, it's not for me.
My god, no, seriously.
Yeah. Oh my god, seriously, I'm honestly just having an off day. I just become the gayest straight guy.
Have you heard the expression "being family"?
Being family.
Yeah.
No.
I drove Uber about a few years back. It doesn't matter. Pick up this group of guys.
I don't believe you.
That was Uber driver?
Yeah, I don't believe you. All right, continue. Sorry.
And they get in the car, and then one of them, gets in between the passenger seat and the driver's seat. Goes, "Are you family?" I'm like, "No, I don't know you."
Does it mean a part of the gay community?
I had no idea the whole time, but he kept insisting, "Are you family? Because if you're family, you gotta come with us because we're family." And I didn't know what that meant. So
did you find out what it meant
when I dropped him off?
He said, "Oh, are you gay?
Yeah. I'm like, I had no.
Are you a part of the crew?" Is what he was.
Yeah, but I'd never heard that expression before.
I don't know if it's an expression or if he was just saying it. I don't know if that's.
I would think that there's a gay vernacular that people know. So when you go to a gay club and you say, "Hey, are you family?" That's what I thought when he dropped it on me and then sucked my dick. But the point is,
he told you about what family meant after he.
Yeah, I'm a big family man. I believe in family.
Yeah,
family,
I'm a family guy now.
Yeah, family is the core of this society.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, go on about your.
Yeah, so I was in musical theater. That kind of went to straight theater. Blah blah blah. Phil, we already went down that tangent. That kind of went into TV film, world.
Man, you really wanted to entertain. That was always something.
Oh yeah, so then I was taking classes in like TV film and like trying to audition for TV, like that kind of in New York. This is still New York. Then towards the end of my time in New York, that kind of I realized I was like funny. I realized like whatever I'm gonna do, it's gonna be somewhere humorous. I'm not gonna be Mr. Dramatic Actor, which for a time I was studying. I mean, I was really studying all of the as dramatic of dramatic things as you can imagine. I don't know, drama class.
Did you try dancing?
No, never did dancing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that one I knew was not going to be for me.
I'm trying to picture it.
This is actually a real story. When I moved to New York, I had a few people who wanted to get coffee with. Hey, what's it like living in New York? What's it like doing theater? And I ended up sitting down with a great guy, former Broadway dancer. He'd been in like 10 Broadway shows.
Michael Bublé.
I sat down with Michael Bublé. Former dancer guy, turned director. I think I met him because he was a director. Whatever, like a whatever. And I said, he was a dancer, and I said, hey, I think his name was Michael, actually. So back to Michael. And I said, oh, you know what? You're not going to believe this. I just started musical, I'm doing musical theater. I just signed up for this dance program. I want to get better at dance. I want to be, in theater, and I know you have to dance, and I want to be better at dance because I'm really bad at dance. And he said, Morgan, have you given them your money? I said, no. He said, don't do that. I said, why? I want to be a better dancer. He's like, Morgan, are you a dancer right now? Are you like, are you going to dance? I said, no, that's why I would be taking the class. I want to become better. He said, Morgan, if you're not going to be a real dancer, don't waste your time becoming a little bit of a dancer.
Yeah.
Focus on what you can do, which would be the acting and the singing. And that's
good advice.
So that was the advice, and I totally saved a bunch of money and probably some embarrassing fucking dance classes. I have taken dance classes, that's for sure. I have taken dance classes. And your boys got some moves. I'm just... For a big football guy, I can move my little booty a little bit, but I digress.
To see this shit.
On the, I mean,
not now.
Doing,
just the two of us in my apartment. I don't trust that.
Yeah.
But next time,
can we be family? Okay, because because I only dance for family. If you know what I mean. So
I'll be daddy. I wear the hat.
Great. Well, we're a callback podcast. Okay. Oh, it's called the FeedBak, right? Hey, today it's the callback. Okay. So TV, film, sketch comedy. So I started class at UCB. There was one there called the Pit Theater. And then as that was happening, I sort of realized, like I wanted to be, I realized I was probably in the wrong place. I realized that New York was probably not for me. I realized that LA, I had friends in LA and because I'm from there. And I realized like, I think I might need to go to LA if I really want to start pursuing like film and filmmaking and like making sketches and, acting. I like really act more like TV, film, acting stuff, which is obviously much more in LA. My theater interest was waning, so I was like, you know what? Let's go back to LA. So I moved back to LA, and then that sort of started. So I got into like filmmaking world randomly, like direct, like Sun.
You're really trying everything.
Everything. Not that I got into Sundance, but like there is sort of a world of like independent filmmakers. Right. I guess Sundance is kind of the big one.
Yeah.
I got into that world. I made long story short, I made a sketch that did a little bit of a small circuit. I don't know how or why, but that's a whole other thing. But and then like TV acting, like I signed up for like, TV acting class and how to get an agent and how to get a manager, like Hollywood.
Were you going on auditions and everything for shows?
Yeah. I mean, not for anything
Sure.
legit. You need like a real agent.
Yeah.
The farthest I ever really went with anything was commercials. I got a pretty decent commercial agent out in LA. So that would be the most Hollywood like I got. But I didn't I booked like one small thing. I didn't really do anything crazy here. You have a look on your face. Did you want to add something?
No, that's fine.
Okay. You're looking like family. That's what I'm So then I was in like total Hollywood. Like I wanted, Issa Rae?
Yeah.
Like the creator star. That was my dream for a lot of that time. I was like, I'm going to be, because I have the acting and comedy chops. I have the I was also taking TV writing classes at UCLA.
What's the time span here? What are we talking about? 4 years, 5 years?
Including New York?
Yeah.
I moved to New York in January of 2016. I left LA, I haven't even finished I left LA January 1st, 2021. So there's a nice 4 or 5 years here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of this slow ascent. So then I'm in like Hollywood actor, creator land. And then with a little bit of sketch, I never felt like I fit in the world of sketch, like Groundlings, UCB. I never felt like I fit in there. And then I got into like, I'm going to write a script. So then I was like, I cut everything off. I was like, I'm going to write a script. I'm going to become like a TV writer. I studied it. I did everything. That kind of, I just never ended up finishing. It was just kind of miserable. I just wasn't. And then somehow, some way, I don't actually fully remember, but I just stand up. I had friends who were stand-ups, years in the game, even at the time. Went to a bunch of stand-up shows. I kind of knew who was around a little bit.
Like, you knew you were a fan already of
Sure,
stand-up.
sure.
You know
Yeah, I knew what was up. And then started, I said, you know what? I want to do comedy. I want to do stand-up. Because I just sort of realized it was you could probably tell from that long list of things I've did that I have a lot of like interests. And like I also have,
Sure.
I have a little bit of a business mind. I like kind of seeing like how to, I don't know. I like thinking like that. And I just sort of realized like stand-up is sort of a combination of all of those things. I get to perform every day. I get to, perform. I get to write. I get to make my own little career. It's like, I don't know. I just, it felt like it fit me. I started it. It totally fit me. I loved it. I was in LA for 5 months.
How was your first time?
Technically, my first time I signed up for a comedy class, which was terrible.
Wait, so
I signed up for I said to myself, I'm probably going to be too scared to just go to an open mic. Let me do a comedy class, get the balls to get up in front of people, maybe get a joke, literally just a joke.
what's the comedy class like? How to write?
What is it like on paper and what is it like in reality is a very different.
I'm curious because
I can only speak for the comedy class I did, which will be completely nameless here. I've heard stories of success stories in comedy classes, so this is not an indoctrination.
Sure. I've heard people talk so much shit about comedy
allow
classes.
me to add to the shit pile. It was, it was just a joke. It was like in a bad way. Like it was the guy.
Who was the guy?
I don't want to say his name, but
but I mean, who was he in the comedy world?
Who was? That's a good fucking question.
Like a retired comic?
He
someone
was, I think,
disgruntled?
he was like a stand-up / writer, like a TV writer. I think he wrote on a show in like the 80s or 90s.
Old guy.
Yeah, well, at the time, he was probably a man in his 50s.
Okay.
So definitely past the hill. Past the hump. And some of it, I'm forgetting, he just, like, the class started, like, the first day was like 5 days in a row. It was like an intensive of sorts for a number of hours a day. And he like, hi, guys, welcome to class. And he just start, like, I think he talked shit on another stand-up teacher. Well, he actually stole everything he knew from me. That was like one of the first things he said.
Oh, great.
He then starts telling stories of him with famous comedians. So one time, I was hanging out at the Comedy Store, and Chris Rock, he had a story about how he picked up George Carlin from the airport. I don't know how or why. I think the man's dad was actually like a very successful TV guy. Like Uber. I forgot the name of the show, but his father, created some crazy show. So through that, he got to meet these people, whatever. But he was just so corny and so whatever. So what did we learn? Like basic joke structure, like really basic, not even that good, just kind of like, so some, if you think of something, what's the opposite of it? Like the only thing I remember is like, how do we, you can take the phrase, Viva Las Vegas, people know. If you're talking about Las Vegas and you say, yeah, I had a great time in Las Vegas. Sorry, let me rephrase. If you're saying a statement like, hey, I had a great time in Las Vegas, and you know what they say about Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. If you wanted to make that funny, you would do something like, I had a great time in Vegas, and you know what they say about Vegas? What happens in Vegas, and you'd say something different.
Yeah.
Ends up on Instagram. That's what I mean by joke structure. And so he had us all sit down and give me 5 examples. Okay, what happens in Vegas? And you had to come up with 5 things, ends up on my credit card or, gets me in trouble. Really, I mean, so I went up to perform at the end of each one of those days with whatever I had. Terrible, awful. I don't even remember. Terrible, awful. But you know what? It was worth it in one big way and then one kind of small way. The first one was it got me going. At the end of that class, I started doing mics with pretty much no stop. The only thing that stopped me was quarantine. So you know what? It got me to do it.
Okay.
And then the second thing was randomly, a woman from that class has grown to be one of the biggest comedy producers in San Diego. And she remembered me, and I got a nice recommendation, and I got booked on a show. It was like this one of the best shows I've ever done. I don't know how I was here.
Wow.
So you know what? You never know who you're gonna meet, you know. And so she became a funny comedian herself, and just I mean, some of these shows, I'm like looking at pictures, and I was there, and I was like,
Like how many people are you talking?
This one was like 200,
Oh wow.
which like
what?
for
1
a
year
fucking
in?
me or her.
You.
I'm a year in, not including time off.
Sure.
I took 10 months off for quarantine.
Yeah.
5 months before quarantine, and then about 8 months now in. So about I told you, for a guy who's a fucking year in,
No shit.
it was in It's in San Diego. I flew whatever. That was pretty fucking wild. So it's like that's a nice thumbs up thing. So you never know who you're gonna meet, even the crappiest of situations. I guess.
That is dope, man. That is dope.
And now I'm the greatest comedian in the world. So I don't know if you heard, but I was voted
No, I think you just family.
greatest. I'm a comedian for family. So
You know, I actually did my first paid show
whoa,
last weekend.
whoa.
I want to give a special shout out to the Can't Even comedy folks.
Oh,
Maxwell and Caitlin. You know 'em?
so I just got back from L.A. Do you know I went to L.A. to do their Can't Even show?
Oh, you did?
I
Nice.
literally-
at the pizza joint or the other one on the rooftop?
At the rooftop. I literally
Nice.
just did the rooftop show.
Yeah.
Fucking Tuesday, whatever, 4 days ago.
Yeah,
so
that-
that's funny. Look at that.
Yeah, good people.
I also will give out a shout. So it's Caitlin Eckstein.
Yes,
She runs Can't Even Comedy with her soon-to-be.
husband,
Yeah,
Maxwell Benson.
they're eloping.
Yeah.
Maxwell, who was a photographer is a photographer.
Giant man.
He is he's like 6'5".
Giant. We hung out all
6'6".
weekend.
Oh, you're buddies with them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sick.
They were all weekend, and because we do the hip hop bingo thing I was telling you about.
Yes, at Native Hostel.
Yes. So we did one in June where we did hip hop bingo, and then they had a showcase. They didn't have a venue. I found a venue.
You helped them get connected to
in Austin?
Native
Yes.
Hostel. Interesting. Good for you. Yeah, she's a. They are both. First of all, they're a great tandem. They are a hustling.
No shit. They
Woo,
told me
baby.
about going to New York. They just came back from New York and they got hustled.
I heard the story as
Yeah,
well.
it's
Yes, they got screwed out over. Oddly enough, I won't say names, but the venue that apparently screwed them a little bit
Yeah.
happens to be a popular venue for musical theater types to do their little solo shows, sing
Oh.
songs. And so I've actually been to this venue. I know the venue. I don't know the people who own it or anything, but funny enough.
Yeah, so they were going to be the dope shit, my dope shit for this episode because, yeah, they're hustling hard and
They are.
we got they may be the only. I'm bad hanging out with couples. I don't like to be
Sure.
the third wheel
Sure.
or hold the candles. I don't like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But
Hold the
with
candles.
I could hold the candles. Yeah, It's
Like
a
at the wedding, is that a?
no, it's just like
That's a
you're
phrase.
hanging out with. And if I translate from French, but
It's a French phrase.
it's a French phrase.
What is it in French?
Tenir les chandelles.
And it pretty much just means third wheel.
Yeah, it's third wheel.
That's sick, dude.
And I hate that shit.
Hold the candle.
Yeah, hold the candles.
My guess as to what that means is the first image that comes to my brain is at a wedding, the different people in the wedding, like your groomsmen, hold candles and they're kind of like off to the side. Is that kind of where it comes from?
No, I think it comes from if you were to have a candlelight dinner, you and your girlfriend, and there's a third guy sitting next to you.
Like the waiter,
yeah.
like
Or-
like Lumiere. He's French.
Oh yeah. From the
I
Beauty
know
and the
French.
Beast.
Be our guest, dude.
Yeah.
Jacques Levoux.
Jacques, what?
Did I make that up? Is
Yeah.
Jacques Levoux made up?
Yeah.
That's offensive.
No, but I mean, we had a blast. I took him to because Caitlin was like, "All right, I'm gonna need some cornbread."
Oh, where'd you take him? Where'd you go?
He said cornbread and mac and cheese,
Okay,
and I'm like, not every barbecue joint does both.
sure.
So I asked Yoni. Yoni was like, it's Terry Black's.
Yep.
Which I'd never been to.
I went a few days ago and had corn.
I've never been to Terry Black's. I know just Joe Rogan's favorite joint. So
It's
now it's blown up, of course.
Yep. What did you think?
I think it's legit.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, first of all, I'm with Maxwell, so we have so
Oh
much
my
meat.
God.
And this, dude, you open the door to the kitchen, and we saw, and I kid you not, a vat of mac and cheese.
Oh yeah. It's by the-
I had never seen that much mac and cheese,
fucking wild.
but it was was and we ate like freaking pigs.
The show was good though that you were on at the Dave Hostel.
Yes, actually, I thought trying to think who else was on. Lucas was on.
Yeah, David Lucas.
David Lucas was a headliner.
Derek Poston.
No,
Oh, he didn't show.
no, that's who I replaced.
I actually replaced Derek Poston on a show the other day.
I got it.
So everybody, thanks Derek for not doing.
Yeah,
gigs.
thank you.
We're
Yeah,
replacing you, man.
we're taking it.
It's because he's so funny and cool. I really like Derek.
No, he's funny. I saw he opened for Andrew Schultz.
He did. I imagine that's why he was dropping some of these gigs because he was picking those up. But whatever.
Probably. I don't know. He's probably on. He was on tour with Schultz. So.
I know Perry Groan, a good buddy of mine.
He was on too.
Was on it. Yeah.
Yep. Mario
Mario Tanti. He just moved from L.A. I knew him in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mario Tanti.
I haven't met him. I mean, apparently they're really, really good friends, and I didn't meet the guy face.
From what I can tell, Mario and Caitlin are pretty tight.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are.
Cool guy. Haven't seen him since he's been in Austin, but
trying to think who else was on.
I know a girl from L.A., Margot Hamilton.
She was the host.
Oh, she hosted.
She hosted.
There you
yes.
go.
She hosted.
Margot, I just hung out with her a little bit. She's a cool lady. Reconnected. I knew her pre-COVID. Reconnected.
So did you go on the road a lot? Go back to LA and do shows?
I was just back in LA. I was in LA for 2 separate times in September. One of them was to do some stuff. The second time was honestly because of Caitlin and Can't Even.
Yeah.
I got the show and I realized my schedule was a little screwy and I was like, oh, this might not be. I said, fuck it. Let me go do the show. I'll do another trip. It's very cheap for me to get out there. I can stay with friends. It cost me almost nothing. Try to build some stuff around it. But I literally went back out for Can't Even. And then she was like, oh, okay, I'll see you in Austin. It was like she was literally getting on a flight.
They're coming back in, so November 21st, they're coming back.
Oh, really?
Yes.
God damn it. Now, I say that, my thought process was, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm gone. Literally.
To LA?
No, but I didn't get booked. She hasn't booked me. I just assumed.
Oh.
So, literally just assumed.
I'll get you in. I know.
No, but I can't do it. So don't get me in. I'm leaving on the 20th. So that's going to New York.
All good. But they were, so we have a bet going on right now because, and I gave them shit for it because, so they booked me last minute to say going to replace Derek. You got 7 minutes. I'm like, cool, I'll do it.
Nice.
And then they didn't watch my set. They went to the back at Native. Shout out to Noah, who's a chocolatier, and they had this whole chocolate experience when they were smashing chocolate with brass knuckles.
You're saying this comedy show is catered by a chocolatier?
No. So at Native Hostel, there's a guy in there who has a shop. He's a chocolatier. And while I was on stage,
or the guy who works there happens to also own a chocolate store.
The guy who works there also owns a chocolate shop inside there. I
thought people were slinging chocolate on stage.
I'm like, you booked me to be on this thing, and then you went during my set. You went and got chocolate.
Not uncommon.
No, I'm not. I gave him shit for it. I was just kidding.
It happens.
And then she said, "All right." And then we meet these people who this guy owns a yoga studio. I don't do yoga, but he gave me a pass. And Kelly was like, "If you take that yoga class, and I have proof that you took the class, I'll give you 15 minutes when you come to LA."
There you go, dude.
I'm like, fuck me.
That's worth a yoga class, buddy.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
the embarrassment of a yoga class?
Dude, get some fucking time. Get some fucking stage time.
Yes.
On the Mama Shelter show, would you do that?
I think it'd be that one, yeah.
It's a Mama Shelter. This is so inside baseball, but Mama Shelter is a rooftop bar in LA.
It looks dope.
Very, very Hollywood.
There's a view on the
beautiful view.
You can see the Hollywood sign from there.
It's beautiful. Have you been to LA?
No, you showed me pictures.
Oh, you've never been to LA?
No.
Oh, that would be an amazing place to go.
No, I've never been. Because he's been trying to get me there for months.
The energy of that specific place is very bougie, Instagram. That's the vibe. And so it's a bar. It's also like a busy bar.
Yeah.
So the crowd, I'll spare you details until you get to it, but it's a harder crowd because there's a lot going on. You have to be like very like, what's up, guy? How you doing? You can't just like, hey, so my jokes are like, you have to get them. Like, what you do? What do you come here? Like,
okay.
You kind of have to, because they're like, you have the section of the bar is for you, but the other section, which is just wide open, there's no wall or anything,
right,
is just people hanging out and having dinner and shit. So sometimes they're sitting there and they're not looking at you. They're having their own very loud conversation.
Oh, that's got to be fun.
And they're kind of
pay attention to me.
Exactly. So you have to be a little more of the crowd whisperer of sorts. I thought I did fine.
I just got to go. I mean, he's been trying to get me to do my bingo thing over there too, so I'm working on that. But I never. Last time I went to LA was 14, so it doesn't count. And I was there for 2 days.
Mama Shelter would be a pretty wild place for you to have your LA comedy career debut. That's pretty good show, and it's just a wild place to do comedy. It's
I just want to see it.
Especially if you've never been to LA. It's a beautiful view. It's a great vibe. Good drinks. Yeah, it's cool. Pretty ladies. I think that's what you're looking for.
No, I'm family. Remember?
Oh yeah, well, pretty family members as well.
I'm sure there's a lot of family members over
Yeah,
there. We
no,
love Oprah.
it's a cool spot. I mean, it's
No,
a cool spot.
I'll go. I'll go. By the end of the year, I told him I'd take a trip down there. It's been a little more complicated and stuff, but
Obviously.
it's better now.
Yeah.
It's better now. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up. What's your dope shit?
What is my dope shit?
Did you read the email?
I did, but what is dope shit again? I'm sorry.
It's basically something that you think people should know about besides you. It could be a book, a movie, a play, a YouTube site, a porn site, whatever you want.
Oh, porn site. Okay. No.
I mean, my dope shit was really the Can't Eat. I want to give a shout out to these guys because I had a blast hanging out with them over the weekend. Oh, and I will say my other dope shit, Moon Tower, was last week.
Oh, I totally missed it.
Oh, you got to do it, man. They're coming back in April
Why? Why so soon?
because it's usually in April.
Oh, this was like a kind of a pre. Thing.
Yeah, this was because
Awesome.
because of COVID, they had to
Yeah.
push it. But they just signed a partnership with Just for Laughs.
Whoa.
So it's gonna. So Moon Tower was like Thursday through Saturday.
Mhm.
Next year it will be like a 10-day festival all over Austin with Just for Laughs. So it's a good move. It's a great
Yeah.
move because Moon Tower's grown. I've been going to Moon Tower for 9 years in a row, and every year it's bigger.
Yeah.
This year was a little more subtle.
Sure. It's not
But
big.
it's understandable. But I've seen so many fucking. I saw Hotel this year. You know, Dan Soder was here. The guys with Fuck Girls were here. I mean, it was
Yeah.
dope. So shout out to Moon Tower. That's my dope. The Moon Tower and the Can't Even comedy, folks. Go check it out.
I think I have a dope shit.
What's your dope shit?
A singular dope shit. I just started watching. I found out from Nasia Marrero, the comedian here.
Yeah, I know who she is about. I met her like twice.
And I haven't even actually met her. I don't know her, but I just saw her face pop up in this thing called this new YouTube channel company called the Funny Media Group or Funny Media Entertainment, something Funny Media something. And they produced a 10-minute special for her, and it looks like a goddamn Netflix special. It is
10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes long.
well, it's not just hers. They did a number of people. So there's like maybe now 20 people who have these 10-minute little specials, but they're like amazing quality. They booked out a studio with a cool backdrop. It's like if you want to see like up and coming Nasia included. I don't know Nasia, so good job Nasia. But if you want to see up and coming comedians and they're not getting an hour, but they're getting a 10 minutes. Specifically, there's a guy I did a show with named Jay Washington who was also a part of it. He's a funny dude. It was just so cool to see like comedians that I know a little bit or like are a little older than me, and like they had like a studio audience. They had,
Wow.
I mean, it was like a full. I don't know who fucking is paying for it, but Funny Media Group or Funny Media Entertainment.
Can you get on that?
Can I get on that? Absolutely not. I have no idea who I would. No, I'm not ready for that shit.
10 minutes?
I can. Let me rephrase. I can do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a loose 10 minutes. Like it's like I riff a lot. I have a lot of whatever. Like I can do a little bit more than 10 minutes, but like I'm not going to sit here and say I think these jokes are the greatest things I'm ever going to written. When I get to that level, I want to get to the point where I have a real 10 minutes. Like this is a calling card of sorts. I still feel like I'm in the cocooning stage of my career.
I'm not even born yet.
I mean,
Shit.
I like my jokes; they're cool, but some of them might stick, yay! But like, oh no, that I think, at least for my taste, is for somebody quite a little bit down the road for me, a few years.
Really?
But if they went to me, I don't know who runs it, but
I haven't seen you in a minute, so I'm gonna have to.
Again, I can get 10 minutes, and I think I have 10 minutes that people will laugh at some point somewhere in the 10 minutes. But if I'm going to have something that well produced by a company like that, I want 10 minutes that
Is it local?
they're LA based, I believe.
Oh, okay.
This was LA based.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just I was super. I mean, also a lot other dope shit. Just there's a lot, just live comedy. There, LA is doing a lot of really cool stuff. I've said this, and I'll say it, goddamn it, in public. I think if we're comparing the LA and Austin comedy scenes, I think LA has better shows, stuff like Can't Even, other really well produced, tight, awesome shows with promotion and posters and good comedians.
Oh, they get on the
Great
street. They go.
Great venues. Where in Austin, I think there's some lovely shows. I think there's some really good shows. but like only like a few, very few of them match to what's happening in LA. There's a lot more. There's a lot of bullshit here. There's a lot of bullshit in LA. There's just more. Where I think the flip side, Austin has a much better mic scene, and I think is a much better scene for younger comedians like myself to continue growing.
I agree. I've heard about the other scenes, but as far as when I meet comics who just got here like all the time. I just got here like last week or yesterday, and they tell me like, where should I eat? I'm like, dude, there are mics every day.
And good ones, yeah. Like the mics in LA are very sterile. They're very. You pay $5 for each of them. There's pretty much you and 5 other comedians. That that can not always be the best. Where here, not to say every mic is great. No mic is great. Every mic in the world is terrible. But relatively speaking, there's some mics here that you get real people. And like shit, man, to be a young guy and literally just to have a table of 3 people watching you and actually watching is fucking awesome.
I saw this kid yesterday at the Romo Room. Doing the Best of the Romo Room showcase, and I was on there, and this kid, I forgot his name, Lane something.
Lane. Okay.
But he been doing open mics the whole time, and that was his first actual showcase.
Sure.
And he just lit up.
Oh, he killed.
Fucking killed.
Nice.
And I was like, you did something else before this, because I did 5 years of improv and sketch and all that stuff. But you could tell that it felt so comfortable, and he was so happy, just like, oh my God, I got to do this in front of non-comics, because it's a different vibe, it's a different energy that you get, it's a different performance altogether, really.
And I like the diversity here in terms of, you do your set of jokes at one mic at 6 p.m. at like a coffee shop, somewhere in Austin. And then at 8 p.m., you drive up to, Cedar Park or Georgetown, and you're performing for people with pickups and camo. And you're like, you get so many different kinds of people. You kind of get a taste of the road. Like eventually, as our career progresses, we want to get on the road. We want to perform all over. And like, that's very different than your normal metropolitan Austin or Los Angeles type of person often. And so it's cool to be able to test your shit in so many different places. Again, not that the shows are bad here. I mean, Lucas McCrary runs a good show. I mean, there's a lot of good shows, but
I want to do a black crowd. I haven't done that yet because there's not that many of us.
Interestingly enough, the Can't Even show I did at Mama's Shelter, for whatever reason, happened to be a very black crowd.
Was it on Sunday?
No.
You told me about this one night on Sundays where they have mostly black folks.
Oh, Chocolate Sundays.
Yeah, that's
so that's like a very legit show at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like a very like top notch. And it's a black room. It's a black room. The Laugh Factory is not a black venue per se.
Yeah.
Where in LA, the black venue would be something called the Comedy Union, which is down on Pico.
I need to get.
That's like a black. That's like a black room. That's like a black spot.
I gotta do one of those.
And it's pretty close to the Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles. So you know what? If you really want to, if you're trying to have the full black experience, go on down. That is, by the way, my only Roscoe's that I eat at. The other Roscoe's, I believe, are not as good. I've been to the other ones. The one on Pico, that's the shit. That's chicken and waffles, baby.
That's your third dope shit.
And you know who really loves chicken and waffles? Oprah. Guys, this has been the FeedBak podcast.
Oh, the callback
That's
podcast.
How you fucking end a pod, dude.
Where can people find you and all that good stuff?
You can find me on Instagram at the Morgan Leinwohl. You can find me at TikTok at the Morgan Leinwohl. I've been inactive on TikTok for a little bit, but I'll get back to it. That's all. Yeah. YouTube. Type in my name on YouTube. I have some fun stuff there.
Might want to spell it.
My first name is Morgan, like Morgan Freeman. My last name is Leinwohl, Leinwohl. Leinwohl, like a line on the wall. I also have a podcast that I haven't done for a while called Line on the Wall.
Oh, really?
I used to, I said I kept transgressing.
Yeah.
Through quarantine, my transgressing went into like social media and podcasting. So I got on TikTok and podcasts and did all that shit. And haven't done it for a little bit, focusing more on stand-up. But I'll get back to that stuff. I like
That's
it.
fine.
I did all this shit with the cameras. And
I believe you. I think you have your journey is certainly not over yet.
I really hope not. That was ominous.
No.
I think your journey's not over yet. That's the FeedBak podcast.
If you learn anything from this episode, is that put the work in and then shit will happen.
Yeah, put the work in, and one day you'll be a open mic comedian like Morgan, who's been doing it for a year.
You'll sit on my couch if that means anything.
Yeah, and this is the couch. To
Oh
sit
my
on.
God, you have no idea.
This is it.
I don't know. Eventually, I want to move this to an actual studio at some point.
Quick question before we end: how long have we been going?
Like an hour 25.
What is the longest podcast you've ever recorded?
3 hours.
Really? With who?
DJ Mel. I had to cut it in 3 parts.
DJ
Mel.
I don't know DJ Mel.
DJ Mel is a DJ out of Austin. He was Obama's DJ.
Oh, actually, let me rephrase the question. Of the people that I know in comedy, who is the one?
Oh, the longest one? I did 2 hours with Nate, I think.
Klingon?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Because we recorded it once, and then halfway through, we're like, some shit happened, and then we lost audio or whatever. So he had to come back, and he was like, this is going to be the best podcast ever, man. And we talked for 2 hours.
Well, I think hour and a half is pretty good.
This is fine. Let's see if these people attention span is long enough. I'm just testing things out.
Let's hope.
And I got shit to do.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
No,
Thanks for having
Morgan,
me, man.
thank you so much. As always, make sure you follow the FeedBak everywhere on social media. Follow Morgan. Very funny. And check out the archives. And we'll talk to you next time. Ciao,
Bye-bye.
ciao.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Okay, man. That was fun, dude.